All right, I think we should be on air now. So what's up, guys? This is Ty Zen, broadcasting from the great city of Atlanta, which is located in the state of Georgia. And in the states, just right south of me, is a state called Florida. And on the east coast of the state of Florida, there's a city called Tampa. And we have
West
with
Coast,
us today.
actually.
Oh, I mean, yeah, West Coast of Florida. We have Chuck, G, broadcasting from the city of Tampa, Florida. And you're right up the street from, you said Charlie Shrem and Anthony Diorio, the creator of the Jax wallet,
Yes.
right? Okay, so you just right a few minutes just north of them in Sarasota. Okay, so in this video, guys, of Ethereum Classic for investors, Chuck and I want to discuss about the difference between the developers. There's two major developing teams that's working on the Ethereum Classic project, and Chuck G is the your role is the communications manager. Is that right for the?
Yeah, marketing manager for the ETC dev team.
Okay, so you want to explain to the audience, what's the difference between the two teams and what they're called and everything?
Yes. There's two major development teams for ETC, for Ethereum Classic. Technically three, but we'll get to that in a little bit as well. ETC dev team, they're the ones that are developing the forked Go client, and Go is a programming language. They're working on the forked Go client of Geth. Geth is the program that you put on your computer to run Ethereum, right? And when Ethereum forked, the ETC developers Sorry about that. Got a phone call.
Okay.
So the Ethereum developers who maintain Geth, the volunteers that maintain ETC, maintain Geth for ETC. And so we have our own, we have the Geth Classic version, right?
Okay.
That's what the ETC dev team does. They program the Geth Classic version that runs the ETC network.
Okay.
And currently you have, as the head of that group, you have Splix, who is the CTO of the ETC dev team. He is the head programmer for ETC at the moment. And then you also have, there's three paid programmers. There's Pascal, there's Dulanov, and there's SJM. And they are the three paid programmers for the ETC dev team under Splix that are helping to maintain the Geth Classic version of ETC. And this is all separate from...
And the Geth version of the Ethereum Classic client, that's the same one that Ethereum Hard Fork uses, right?
Correct. It's
okay.
It's the Ethereum Foundation runs Geth, and that's what the Ethereum Hard Fork version uses as their main client.
Okay. And that's what's being run right now as we're speaking to process all the transactions, and that's what the nodes that are processing all the Ethereum Classic transactions, they're running on Geth.
Correct. Currently, you do have, also, you can't forget about FCore and Parody. FCore runs their own Ethereum client.
Okay, so for the audience, they don't know what FCore is. Can you explain what is FCore?
FCore is a development team headed by Gavin Wood, who used to be a developer for the Ethereum Foundation. He wrote the yellow paper, which is like the technical implementation paper for Ethereum.
Okay.
And he currently manages his own company called FCore. They run the client Parody.
So he's just so the audience knows too, in case they're new to Ethereum Classic, we have to pause and explain that, Gavin Wood, who owns FCore, who's responsible for creating the Parody Client, right?
Mm-hmm.
He is also a former co-founder of Ethereum.
Correct. Yes.
And
yes.
according to Charles Hoskinson, who was also a former co-founder of Ethereum, that according to him, Gavin Wood is the main architect. You know, a lot of people think that it was Vitalik Buterin. He came up with the theory, the concept, and everything, but the actual code, the majority of the code was written actually by Dr. Gavin Wood.
Correct. Yeah.
Right.
And we know that because he wrote the yellow paper, and the yellow paper is like the technical nitty gritty behind Ethereum. Anytime you make a hard fork or you do a protocol upgrade to Ethereum, you want to upgrade the yellow paper. And basically, the yellow paper tells any programmer in any programming language that they want to do, like let's say you want to make your own program that can run Ethereum, it doesn't necessarily have to be in Go or Rust, like the two clients currently.
Yeah.
Charles,
So just so that the audience knows, right? Those are programming languages.
Correct. Yes.
Go is
and
a
Rust
programming
are
language.
programming language.
Yeah, and Rust is a programming language.
Correct. And
okay.
And then there are other ones called like Scala, Python. Those are programming languages. C++.
Okay, so back to what you were saying about the ETC dev team. It's led by a guy named that goes by the nickname or the handle Splix, right?
Correct. Yes, and he's Russian, and he has a couple Russian guys on his team, naturally, and that he decided to hire that he thought were technically competent to help maintain the Geth Classic version. Besides those paid programmers, we do have some volunteers, mainly Elaine Wu, I think it is. She lives in California. Then you also have Cody Burns, and, who lives in Texas. Really smart guy out of Texas. And then
I think that Elaine Wu is probably the most popular female crypto engineer or developer, because I don't know of anybody else that's female.
Well, I mean, she certainly deserves credit. She writes really good articles on money and the history of money, and she's co-written some stuff with Nick Szabo. Nick Szabo is a good friend of hers and colleague. And and
you should have her on your show. You ought to have her on your show so you can interview her.
Hopefully, yes. I look forward to that. And she's also one. And she's also the one that made the first Ether Classic wallet. She forked the My Ether wallet webpage and forked it for Ethereum Classic. And then Cody Burns actually made a really cool Chrome extension of My Ether wallet as well. And this was before My Ether wallet added an ETC node, so you could trade. So you could have a wallet for ETC as well on their site, because at first you couldn't really do that and have that capability.
Okay, and so you're saying that Pascal, Delanos, and SJM are some of the core devs for the Geth, the client.
They're the paid programmers. They're the ones doing the nitty gritty work day by day now.
Okay, and then you're saying that Avatar, Elaine, and then Cody Burns and Yates Randall are the ones that are just helping out.
They're volunteers. Yates has a different. He's not really a developer. I don't think he is a developer at all. He might be. But he's a miner. His main profession is he's a miner. He is the mining expert in the Ethereum Classic community. He's the one that can pretty much tell you what's going on with the network at any one time. If there's an attack going on, if there is an attack going on, what's pretty much how that attack works and how it's abusing the network. And he is the mining expert for the ETC dev team.
Okay, and so that sums up the Ethereum Classic development team from Russia, right? And so, can you talk about the other team that the IOHK team?
Yes, a lot of people probably heard of IOHK. It's Input Output Hong Kong, headed by Charles Hoskinson. Charles is he's got his own company. He's the CEO of, and he he co-founded Ethereum, and he was kicked out in the beginning because he had differences of opinion of where he wanted to see Ethereum go, and Charles helped help Ethereum Classic get its start. He helped people to take it seriously. He helped get it promoted, that there was going to be serious development work behind it.
So I just want to add this because when we say that, when you say that, Ethereum, that Charles Hoskinson got kicked out of the Ethereum team, that is true, but we also have to mention that the people who kicked him out also got kicked out. Gavin Wood was the one who according to my understanding, he was the one who brought up that he wanted to push Charles Hoskinson out because of differences in opinion of what direction the Ethereum project should go. And so if we mention that he gets kicked out, we also have to be fair and mention that
right.
The same people that kicked him out also got kicked out. So
right,
just to be fair, okay.
The cryptocurrency drama never ends. That's the gift that keeps on giving, right? And we wouldn't have shows if it wasn't for that, or Reddit wouldn't be as fun to read if it wasn't. And
okay, then, so talk about talk about IOHK, Charles Hoskinson and IOHK and their development team.
Yes, we have IOHK's development team. Charles made it real famous that he was going to hire 3 developers off the bat. He actually hired way more than that. He has like 7 or 8 developers, as well as Carlo, who is like the community manager for the Ethereum Classic community, as well as Christian Severino, who's kind of like a liaison philosopher for Ethereum Classic. And helps Carlo do the Let's Talk ETC YouTube channel, and they've done great work for ETC as well. So we've got 2 competing development teams. IOHK has yet to come out with their Scala client, but I know they're hard at work at it, and they're looking forward to releasing it soon. And supposedly Scala is, which is a programming language, should be a really cool language to help program Ethereum in, and should be an easier one than perhaps Go is. So we'll see if that's true or not. And so Charles is the head of IOHK. He has certain ideas of where he would like to see Ethereum Classic go. The ETC dev team has differences of ideas and differences of opinion. And that's why I like Ethereum Classic, because it is decentralized. There is no central foundation that's going to make decisions for the whole community to follow.
Okay, so you said that there's 2 development teams for Ethereum Classic, 2 major teams. One is the ETC dev team that is led by Splix, and then you said there's another IOHK team that is led by Charles Hoskinson, right? From the company IOHK, which stands for Input Output Hong Kong. Now,
correct.
You also mentioned that there's possibly a 3rd team. Are you referring? Which team is that?
Yeah, there's FCore by Gavin Wood, and they run Parody, the Parody Client. And the Parody Client, to be honest, is actually the most used client to run Ethereum Classic. And but the reason why people don't mention FCore as often is because FCore maintains the Parody Client only to keep it updated with what the Geth Classic team is doing.
Okay, so basically what you're saying is that so that the audience understands, right? So you're saying that the Ethereum Classic runs on the client, the Geth client, and the Geth client is maintained by the Ethereum Foundation for the Ethereum hard fork, and is maintained by Splix and his team for the Ethereum Classic. Is that correct?
Correct.
And then you have also the Parody Client, which is created by Dr. Gavin Wood and his team at FCore, and he is also maintaining it, updating it to make sure that it also runs Ethereum Classic.
Correct. Yeah. Not only do they maintain Parody to keep up with any updates from the Ethereum Foundation for Ethereum hard forked, they maintain Parody to update and keep up to date with the Geth Classic version for Ethereum Classic as well. And, you know, we got to give Gavin Wood a lot of credit. He didn't need to do that. You know, it was his decision if he wanted Parody to help out Ethereum Classic, and he has. And, you know, so Ethereum Classic goes a lot to Gavin Wood, because when there was attacks on the Ethereum Classic network, it was the Parody client that helped maintain that network and keep it, keep the status up. You know, because there were certain issues with Geth on both the Ethereum hard forked version and the Ethereum Classic version. And,
okay.
You know.
So now, since you brought that up, I also want to mention that, you know, when I last spoke to Charles Hoskinson, he said that he is in communications with Gavin Wood. You know, in the past, they had disagreements about how the direction of Ethereum should go. But I think that now, with the Ethereum going in the direction that it is, and then Charles gets to handle the direction, you know, help with the, you know, the direction of where Ethereum Classic is going. When I last spoke to him, it did not seem like they were on bad terms. They were actually, he said that they were actually in communication. They discussed, you know, the Ethereum Classic also, right? So I'm glad to see that they're both working on it. Like you said, you know, that I'm glad to see that Gavin Wood is actually contributing to the Parody client, like you said.
Yeah, we're definitely thankful. The Ethereum Classic community is definitely thankful. It's nice to see that. One of the good things that people have noted with the Ethereum split into two communities is that now these two communities can do what they want to do, right? And you see a little bit of that sentiment in Bitcoin with Bitcoin Unlimited. You know, some of the people on RBTC, you know, the Reddit for the second Reddit group for Bitcoin, kind of want to see Bitcoin go into two coins managed by Core, Bitcoin Core, and the other be managed by Bitcoin Unlimited, and that each can follow its own philosophy, you know. And personally, I wouldn't like to see that for Bitcoin. You know, I would like to see Bitcoin stay Bitcoin and not have Bitcoin Unlimited fork off or become a fork. But, you know, I know there are some people that are glad about that sentiment, and to some extent, maybe that's been okay for Ethereum. You know, maybe the Ethereum community was going to split and have the same drama eventually in the future. And the DAO, you know, the DAO just brought that to a head much sooner than it did for Bitcoin to a certain extent.
Okay. Well, hopefully this video episode will help the audience better understand the difference between the Ethereum Classic and the Ethereum hard fork. I mean the two, I would say like 2.5 or three major development or the three major development teams for the Ethereum Classic blockchain. So we have the team from Ethereum Classic, the Ethereum Classic development team, and then we have the Charles Hoskinson and the IOHK team, and then we have the third one, which is with Gavin Wood with the Parody, with the FCore and Parody Client team, right?
Mm-hmm.
So.
And that just goes to show that, you know, all this talk that people might see online or on forums or on Bitcoin talk that Ethereum Classic doesn't have any developers is just an outright lie and just outright FUD. And so if you're thinking about investing into Ethereum Classic, know that there are basically three development teams behind it, you know, and that it's going to be maintained one way or the other.
I think that it's going to be a huge deal and just so that people understand this too, because before we wrap up this video, Chuck, the reason why Charles Hoskinson and his team from IOHK is building the Ethereum Classic client in the Scala language is because in order to do that, you have to understand from scratch what Ethereum is before you can do that. And the reason why he's doing that, him and his team are doing that, is because they want to prove to everyone that they understand from top to bottom. And so they're building it from scratch and not just taking like the Geth client and just adding to it. They're building a completely new implementation of it from scratch to demonstrate to everyone that they understand. He wants his team to understand, you know, all the code in Ethereum Classic, and that's why they're doing that from scratch. And I believe that when they finally release the Scala client, I think that's going to be a huge boost to the Ethereum Classic community and to the price of Ethereum, because now.
As do I. I also think so. And I don't think it's a bad idea either to have your programmers go through all the code of Ethereum. Mm-hmm. And Charles has remarked a couple times how they found numerous bugs themselves in the other clients, and how because they're building theirs from scratch in Scala, that they think theirs is going to be superior. So it's much looked forward to. You know, I'd like to see the Scala client version as well, and I think it will be a nice significant price boost because the market will see that there's more development behind Ethereum Classic. There's yet another implementation, so if anything goes wrong with one or two of the clients, we still have a third one as a backup. You know, and having two clients as a, you know, helped Ethereum show that it was anti-fragile when it was being DDoSed by some unknown attacker.
Yeah. Okay, so thanks for watching this video, guys. If you guys like these updates from us about Ethereum Classic, give us a thumbs up on it. If you guys don't like it, give us a thumbs down. We'll know not to make them in the future. Right? So you can follow Chuck G and the Ethereum Classic updates at ETH_Classic on Twitter. You can follow me at HeyTaiZen on Twitter, and then be sure to subscribe to our newsletter updates at www.cryptocurrency.market/newsletter. And that's where we broadcast all the newsletters out and the new video updates. So thanks for watching this video, guys, and we'll look forward to seeing you guys in a future video.